Hello everyone and welcome to a new IBM RPG sample video. Today I'd like to talk to you about the DataGen opcode and about the generator called MULTRPL that I found on RPG Cafe that uses DataGen to substitute several values into a string. And then I will show you how we can use this to emulate something very similar to a printf in Java or a string format. Okay, so let's go. Well, first of all, I must say that the example I'm going to explain to you in this video can be seen in this URL, okay? So there you can download the code and try something and try to make the same as me, okay? Well, let me open the generator program. I have it here. MULTRPL, okay. Well, before we look at the code, you already know that what DataGen does under the hood is basically call another program or another procedure, and it does it several times during the process, passing different events each time, like start, give me a value, end, and it's this program that decides what to do with each event, okay? So this program that gets called is what we usually call the generator, and that's exactly what MULTRPL is, okay? Well, as you can see, this program is a bound procedure, okay? It is called through gen, and it doesn't work like a normal program, as I said before, okay? At the beginning, this comment that is here, you can read it. Well, it explains the convention that we have to follow if we want to use the generator. We need a data structure where the first subfield is the template. Okay, we are gonna have a string with the placeholders, for example, item or price. Okay, the second subfield is gonna be the marker. That is the character that goes before and after each placeholder. Okay, in this case, as you can see, it is this character, a percentage. Okay, and the rest of the subfields are the actual replacement values. Okay, we can have a variable in our template as we need, but remember, if we are going to have different variables, then we'll need a different data structure for each call, okay, for each use of DataGen. Okay, we'll see it later. Okay, so now let's look at the procedure itself. As you can see, we are receiving this parameter. Okay, this is a standard structure defined in DataGen support, and it has a field called event. So depending on the value of event, we can do different things. When the event is start, as you can see here, then we are allocating some memory for state structure. Okay, this is because the generator gets called multiple times, so we need somewhere to keep the result while we're building it up. Okay, when the event is ScalarValue, as you can see here, ScalarValue, well, this is called once per subfield in our input structure. So here we check the subfield number. If it is 1, that's our template. So we save it into state result. Okay. If it is 2, as you can see here, that is our marker. So we save it into state marker here. Okay. And for anything else, we build the placeholder name, marker plus the subfield name in uppercase plus marker again, and we use scan and replace here to replace that placeholder in state result with the real value. Okay, well, and finally I have it here. If the event is end, we copy the final state result into the output handle using this procedure, and we free the memory we allocated at the start. Okay, well, that's it. There's nothing more to explain here. This is a completely generic engine, and it doesn't know anything about item or price as in the example. It just loops through whatever subfields you give it, okay? Now let's now see how we actually use this. Well, let me now create a new program. We're gonna create a new program here. For example, I have example 1, I think. Okay. Well, we're gonna have, as always, a full free program without cycle in this case, with only a main procedure. So here I declare my data structure. That is gonna be, let me make it bigger. For example, price and message. That's gonna be a qualified structure. And we're gonna have the message with this type. We're gonna have a marker with this type. It's gonna be this. But we can change it for a different value, okay? We are gonna have an item and price, for example. Okay, so as you can see, the template is the first subfield, that is message. Okay, the marker is this, a percentage, and then we have item and price that are going to replace item and price in the template. Okay, so let's now declare a variable to save the output. And now we're gonna use our structure to fill it with our template and the values for the item and price in this case. Okay, so we are gonna have price message dot message is gonna be the price of item between the two markers, okay, is price. Okay, okay, this is gonna be our template in this case. And now first message, we're gonna write two messages in our case. Okay, my item is gonna be, for example, a shirt. Our price is gonna be this. And what we have to do now is this: data gen price message data output, okay, where I'm going to save our result, and our generator is gonna be this, okay, MULTRPL. Okay, let's now make another call, for example, second message. Now we're gonna have, for example, cap a price that's gonna be, in this case, $12.50, and again data gen price message data output, and our generator that's gonna be this. Of course, we can we're gonna send the message that we are getting output in this case, and also here. So we're gonna get both messages in our job log. Okay. Okay. So let me now, of course, we have to compile both programs. Okay. Okay. The generator is compiled. We don't need to compile it again, okay, because we're gonna use it but we don't have to change it anymore. Okay, and now let's compile this example. Okay, it is compiled correctly, and now let's try to run it. Let me change this. So we are going to look for it, example, and call program. And what we are getting is, as you can see, the price of item shirt is 19.95 and the price of item cap is 12.50, as we have in our program here. Okay, so it is working fine. Okay, very nice. Notice something important here: the size of the output, this, and the size of the message, that is this, have to be big enough for the final text. Otherwise, it gets truncated silently without an error. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay. Well, so now here's the interesting part. If you worked with Java, you probably know string format or printf, where you have one template string and you just plug in as many values as you want. Okay, this is basically the same idea, but instead of positional parameters like percentage %s or %d, we use named placeholders, and the arguments are just subfields of a data structure. So let's now extend our example. I want to add a second price, for example, a sale price. So we are going to have sale here. Okay, and well, let me remove this. We're going to make only an example. And now we're going to change our message. We're going to have the price of item is price, but now in sales is sale. Okay, the marker is going to be the same, and now as you can see we have 1, 2, 3 different variables inside the template. So we have to have item, the price, and for this item we're going to have sale price of, for example, 12. Okay, let me change this, and let me now compile it and run it. Notice I didn't touch the generator program at all. I just added a new subfield called sale and a new placeholder here in the template. That's it. Okay, so let's compile it. Okay, it is compiled correctly, and if we run it, run action, call program, what we are getting is this: the price of item shirt is 19.95, but now in sales is 12. Okay, so it works correctly without changing our MULTRPL generator. Okay, we can change this the way we want, and we don't have to change the generator at all. Okay, so to summarize, DataGen together with a generic generator like MULTRPL gives us a pretty elegant way to build formatted strings, very similar to printf or string format in other languages, but using a plain RPG data structure. Okay, I hope you liked this video. Please like if so, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and as always, thanks for watching.